All right. No Buck Rogers tonight. It's a little late. I have to pick up a package early tomorrow, which is today, the 22nd. There will be a Buck Rogers uh, in maybe about 15 hours or so, like Wednesday afternoon. Okay. So after part 7, there will be no Buck Rogers until next Wednesday. So I'm going to try to see if I can make this 80 parts because my sketchbook has 80 pages in it. My hope is that I can get to 80 parts of Buck Rogers and be done with it, and then move on to other things. But I'm going back and forth between my original stories and Buck Rogers, and then other like Mickey Mouse or other things. See what I can get away with. We got so many advertisements on this thing. Can I get rid of them all? Let's see if I can do that. Because tonight, I want to look at this. This is Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League movie review. A loony love letter to Japanese culture. There's mild spoilers in here. I've only seen the first paragraph, okay? So I figured this would be a good topic to share tonight. So Buck Rogers tomorrow. You're going to love it for Wednesday night. But for tonight, Batman Ninja. And I wanted to do some more videos, but I don't have the energy. I barely did Metroid. I only got 2 fucking views for Metroid board game. It's a real board game, everyone. It really was. So let's go ahead and look at it. Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League. Now, more than fucking Superman, while everyone else is looking at fucking Superman and creature fucking commandos, we're looking at the only non-James Gunn thing that is in media right now that I want to look at, and it's been 6 fucking years. So let's take a look at it, okay? This is published on January 8th. Is it January 8th or 6th? I think it's the 8th. And I missed this. I missed this to death. So I did not get to see this at all. Look at this art. Holy shit, look at this art. So there's the Flash, there's Batman, there's Aquaman. I missed this article for like a week and like almost 2 weeks. How did this happen? So this is beautiful. Flash and Aquaman, and I think Green Lantern's to the left of Aquaman, and Wonder Woman might be to the right of Flash. This is something I'm looking forward to. Now, Warner Brothers has had a hands-off approach to the first movie, so now we're going to get into the review right now. Okay? Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League. Hi. Okay, I'm going to read this article. I'm going to react. I'm kind of like, not reacting, but reading it and giving my reactions and thoughts. In the real world, it might have been 6 years since the release of the critically acclaimed Batman Ninja 2018 anime movie, but in the universe created and crafted by director Junpei Mizusaki, okay, so Junpei Mizusaki and writer Kazuki Nakashima, only one day has passed between the events of the first film and its follow-up, the Yakuza League. Slated for release on March 21st, 2025. Now, I'll talk about that in a moment. Tokyo Weekender had a chance to catch an early screening of the sequel at Tokyo Comic-Con. Wouldn't you know that Tokyo has its own fucking Comic-Con? So it's in 2024, kicking into high gear barely 24 hours after Batman's time travel adventure in 16th century Japan. The film opens with the Dark Knight's realization that the present he's returned to has radically changed. The Batman League no longer exists, or the Justice League no longer exists. Japan has disappeared, and Yakuza gangsters with jetpacks regularly fall out of the sky, and then things get weird. So, okay. So I'm trying to take this all in. Okay, so let's see. So this is the trailer. I've seen the trailer. DC heroes like a Yakuza. It quickly comes to pass that the Justice League members didn't vanish, but instead changed into alternate versions of themselves based around a Yakuza motif. Now, Yakuza is a very broad term that can be applied to anything from modern-day organized crime groups to their precursors like 18th century gamblers or stevedores? I don't know what that is. With the help of director Shinji Takagi, the Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League anime film uses all those definitions to reimagine DC's most popular heroes. Some of the changes are mostly visual, like Superman becoming a kimono-clad mob boss with a jacket thrown over his shoulders like a mafia cape. Or Aquaman sporting a fisherman's headband to hint at the Yakuza's dock worker origins. Okay, so they're getting fucking creative here. They're doing new things. This is Elseworld stuff, okay? This is the Elseworld stuff. I mean, James Gunn will say it's Elseworlds. I think James Gunn was responding to a comment that Harley Quinn cartoons, the only other thing, uh, James Gunn will not put Elseworlds on things like Batman Ninja or Harley Quinn, but they are Elseworlds. So he's trying to sort that out, you know. But I have always liked the Justice League 3D animation that you get before each DC movie. Okay, so other reimaginings can go much deeper. The Green Lantern Jessica Cruz, for example, is reborn with the power to create mental projections of gambler paraphernalia like die or Hanafuda playing cards. Fitting since the name Yakuza literally means 893, which refers to the worst possible hand in the Hanafuda game. I see. 893. Wow. That gives me some board game ideas. Oh my god. The Flash, on the other hand, gains a massive Sandogasa bamboo straw hat that has become shorthand in period dramas for the Yakuza. However, it was more commonly used by Hiyaku, flying legs couriers, during the Edo period, 1603 to 1867. Now I know what the Edo period takes place, making for a perfect thematic match for the Scarlet Speedster. Wonder Woman looks at first glance like a stereotypical female Yakuza boss, kimono and wakizashi short sword and all, but there is a rich pop cultural basis for this portrayal, especially when she bares her shoulder to reveal a tattoo on her arm. This is a classic trope of period Yakuza dramas where gangster women prove that despite their appearances, they are really part of the Japanese underworld. The scene itself most likely goes all the way back to the Benton Kazo 1862 kabuki play, where two Yakuza members, disguised as women, are exposed because of their sleeve tattoos. All of these characters in the movie retain their superpowers, which makes for beautiful action scenes that become slightly more interesting with a bit of knowledge of gangster cinema and Japanese history. This fucking movie beats Superman. This fucking movie beats even the first Batman Ninja, if all goes well. If it turns out to be like a full, I want to see an hour and a half of this at least. That's still just the first layer, though. There's Aquaman there. Crash course in Japanese mythology. Underneath the Yakuza veneer, the sequel to Batman Ninja also offers plenty of references to Japanese myths and legends, like how the alternate Earth is referred to as by some characters as Amatsukani. This is another name for Takamagahara, the heavenly plane where some of the most powerful Shinto gods reside. The Yakuza League technically exists outside this Matsukani or Matsukuni, but that doesn't mean they don't reference plenty of Japanese mythology. A lot of Japanese mythology, and you have modern settings. In the comics, Wonder Woman wasn't born the traditional way, but was instead shaped from clay and animated by Zeus on Themyscira, the island of Amazons. Through the lens of Japanese mythology, this changes in Batman Ninja as Yakuza League to Wonder Woman being born equally unconventionally from a giant flower or some kind of fruit. Yes, I like this. Mirroring the birth of the folk hero Momotaro the Peach Boy. Yes, I remember I saw a play. I got into Japanese culture for a while last decade. Who emerged from a giant peach floating down the river. The anime Wonder Woman also hails from Japan's very own land of only women, Nyago no Shima, also known as Nyago Gashima, which is Shima means island. A mythical island that since the Meiji period, 1868 to 1912, became often translated as Amazon Island in Japanese literature. So that's neat. Then there's the Flash, nicknamed Idaten, after a Sino-Japanese deity known as a protector of Buddhist monasteries. More importantly, Idaten is also known for his great speed of movement, a rarity in Chinese or Japanese mythology, and a natural fit for a superhero who runs very fast. Then there is Aquaman, known in the movie as Suiryu. Suiryu, water dragon, almost like a nod to Ryujin, the dragon god king of the ocean who might also have served as an inspiration for Godzilla, and like Aquaman, commands all sea life. Well, I can imagine a Godzilla-like creature under Aquaman's command. That would be something. In the anime, this includes a giant messenger turtle who serves as a reference to the myth of Urashima Taro, a fisherman who invited to Ryujin's palace. Although fair's fair, the way Suijin's turtle moves is somewhat strange. Seeing it as it spins to kind of fly jump away. That doesn't sound like something from Japanese mythology. It more brings to mind the turtle Kaiju Gamera, who flies around the air by spinning. That's probably not a coincidence. Yeah, you're taking kind of 20th century culture from Japan, where you have like whatever Ultraman fights and all that stuff, Ultraman or some other stuff. It's Japanese added to the script. So there is a memorable scene in Batman Ninja 2018 where Batman has a crisis of confidence after losing his high-tech gadgets and has to discover that his real power is indomitable will and family. I remember this. There really isn't anything as heavy as that in the sequel, which takes a notably sillier tone. Though with plenty of action scenes, this should be clear from the second Yakuza start raining from the sky, but becomes undeniable after Damian Wayne, the current Robin, gets trapped in a giant claw machine, a staple of Japanese gaming arcades full of plastic sushi toys. This scene really didn't need to be there for any plot reasons, but it's absolutely indispensable if you're making a movie that lovingly pokes fun at and references popular Japanese culture. It's exactly what Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League set out to do. Okay, so it's a little lighter. Okay, the entire audience during the screening exploded with laughter when Wonder Woman out of nowhere started singing a 90s style enka ballad with karaoke subtitles at the bottom of the screen. Da 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 da. That's a different song though. Once again, this was totally unrelated to the plot, but crucial for the movie's intended vibe. That's why one sequence in the film is shot in the style of a giant robot from the 70s and 80s, like Mazinger Z or Tosho Daimos, or why Red Robin and Red Hood, Batman's other proteges, use high-tech trickery that they've dubbed Science Ninja Techniques, a direct reference to the Science Ninja Team Gatchaman anime from the 1970s. Street racing vending machines, those also feature in the movie for the simple reason that they're part of Japanese culture. Okay. Yeah, it's modern stuff. Okay. In recent years, Japan started losing some of its soft power derived from its cultural influences, and Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League feels like an attempt to get it back by using one of the most recognizable characters on the planet and an original high-octane story that'll delight both casual viewers and die-hard Easter egg hunters. In the end, everybody wins. Related post, Naruto, marketing blitz that helps. Okay. All right. Let me tell you my thoughts. So March 21st is actually when Snow White's supposed to come out, the one with Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say about that. Okay. I don't think Rachel Zegler is that cute or Gal Gadot. So if I have to take the bike trail all the way to the theater, I do not want to go on that bike trail at night. Now, I do think, I could be wrong, but I do think that if I have my tablet nearby, I have two tablets, right? So it might be possible to check, probably not right now, when exactly standard time ends and daylight savings begins. Because with daylight savings, it'll be more daylight by the time March. I think I saw somewhere March. I don't know if it's at the end of March or the beginning of March. Let's double check. Okay, so daylight savings starts March 9th, which is good news because I believe I can actually do both. Now, I don't know when this movie, I'm hoping it comes out on VOD. DVD, VOD. I would like, maybe you can get a DVD. Okay. I am excited for this movie. Now, I think it's what they're saying. It's going to be lighter. Now, this may turn off people. It may not turn off people. I think that it's going to turn off people who want a more serious, dark Hitoshi Ozawa type movie, right? Like you think of Hitoshi Ozawa, you think of the Yakuza games from Sega, you think of all those movies where you can't understand anything, but all the Yakuza pull out their katana blades and start going at each other, right? Because you're not supposed to have guns, really. They don't use guns, so they use blades and shit. They use like punches and kicks. So that's what happens, right? But this is not going to be focused on that. It's going to be focused more on lights and fantastic shit. So I think this might very well be entertaining. I think that they're trying to do this might be a Joker 2 scenario where it's like, oh, I wanted more of the same thing that happened in Batman Ninja, and people are going to be pissed off and be like, this is Joker 2, this is Joker 2, the same stupid shit's going to be musical and shit. This is not what we want. I don't know. So either this is going to be the best thing I've ever seen or the worst thing. But I'll tell you what, right now, compared to Superman, I know what Superman's going to be about. I know what's going to happen. I know how it ends. I know what happens in the middle. Superman has to survive to get to the fucking next movie. Then you have Supergirl. Unless they kill off Superman again and Supergirl takes over, which is the only other thing I can think of, which is kind of like predictable poetry, right? Because Zack Snyder did it first. Because keep in mind, James Gunn, it does a lighter movie, but it's still going to be a rated R type of movie or PG-13. This is going to be something else, and I want to see the something else. I don't know what's going to happen here, and I don't want to be spoiled on it. I want to know what's going to for myself when I see it. But with looking at this theme, you don't know what's going to happen. You can't tell. You cannot be prepared for the end. With Superman, you're kind of prepared for it. You know what's going to happen. You know what's, or you know what should happen and what you get from James Gunn. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's it. So that's all I'm doing for tonight. Buck Rogers tomorrow. Some more content, more laughs, more fun tomorrow. I promise. I'll die trying doing it.